What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of From the
Sidelines.
I'm Cullen Mac.
I'm Daniel DiMaggio. It felt really good to complete that with you.
Together, it's
We finish each other's sidelines.
sandwiches. Oh,
We finish each other's sidelines.
sandwiches. One more time.
We finish each other's sidelines. Okay, we got it.
Sideburns. Looks like you could use a little cut up there,
Well,
line up.
it's Halloween, all right? I got to be able to flip back into the 70s.
You're turning into the werewolf tonight?
Yeah, for sure.
All right, well, we've got a fun show. If you see the jersey that I'm wearing, or maybe if you saw my story the other night, you know that I'm ecstatic because the World Series has completed and the Los Angeles Dodgers have won behind MVP Freddie Freeman. We'll get more into that in a second, but let's start off with something fun that we can both have fun about.
I'd love to be able to participate in the World Series, please.
Yeah,
even though I'm a Mets fan.
Well, let's do our top 3 World Series logos.
Oh, I'd love to.
Yeah.
See, hence, you'll realize later, I came up with this game so I could participate in the World Series. So I'll go first. Number 3, the 2015 World Series logo.
Oh, a new one.
Who was in that logo? Who was in that World Series? The New York Mets and the Kansas City Royals.
No wonder.
No bias, of course. I just think that this logo is beautiful.
Wow, that's a cool logo.
You've got the pennant, you've got the World Series in beautiful font, and you've got the diamond. I think it incorporates everything. And yet, I still think number 2 is better. Another Mets logo. Another World Series that included the Mets. I'm not being biased. I just like the 2000 World Series logo. Not only do I love it, they used to actually incorporate the team's colors back then.
Yeah, that's cool.
It's got everything. It's got the world globe. It's got a frickin' triangle. It's got the ball coming at you. I love it. And the 2000s orange too.
What's your last one?
My last one? 2010.
Nice.
So I was just going by, 10-year increments minus
I like
5.
that one actually says fall
Classic. That's what I love about it. It's got the fall color of orange, and it's also
Some
got a little
autumn
blue.
leaves, yeah.
And that one had the Giants and the Rangers, so that's my favorite.
I'll go the 2006 World Series. I think this
Okay.
one's really cool because it kind of reminds me of like a video game. I feel like I saw it in like MLB Slugfest or something like that.
I like
and
that one.
I feel like this would look great on the back of like a new era cap. Number 2 for me has to be the 1999 World Series. Okay. I love it's the actual diamond on there, and the font is pretty cool. And yeah, the globe, the colors are nice. And then my favorite one, this comes from my birth year, 2001, has to be the 2001 World Series. I love it. It looks so like retro techno, like just very 2000. It looks like a robot made it in a good way, not like AI, but like a really cool, it fits the theme for that year, in my opinion. Like very
Yankees.
Y2K.
That was Yankees. That was Yankees and Diamondbacks. Yeah, I like 2001.
Very Y2K.
Yeah, very Y2K.
I like it. Well, those are our top 3 World Series.
Those are our top 3.
logos.
Let us know what your favorites are.
All right. Well, let's give a recap on the World Series. Starting off with Game 1, the Dodgers looked like they were down and out after a dominant performance by Garrett Cole. But who comes up to the plate? Freddie Freeman. Yeah, I said it. I love that guy. That guy deserved MVP because he smacked the ball out of Dodger Stadium with a grand slam. Freddie came to play after being injured for both series. It was really unfortunate. He just didn't look like himself. He was hobbling around the bases. I think they gave him a revive or something because he was on point all series, especially in Game 2. They had a great victory, 4-2 over the Yanks. Freddie had another 2-run bomb, I believe, early in the game. And
this series comes down to the runners the Yankees left in scoring position.
Yeah.
Because if you're going to tell me games 2 and 3 were boring, which I think they were boring, you look at the scoreboard, 4-2. That's not very boring.
No, I mean,
each game, 4-2.
Every game they weren't boring games. I get where you're coming from in like the sense of like the Dodgers gentlemen sweep them. Yeah. It was boring, but the Yankees had so many opportunities, and they just failed to convert their runners into
You must have been on cloud 9 when they decided to bring Buehler in. That was just close the door.
Yeah, it was so cool. Just very storybook ending. Game 3 in New York, of course, another Freddie home run. Game 4, Freddie home run, but the Yankees came to play that day. It was raining in New York from the Yankees, and it was actually literally raining.
Shout out Dave Roberts, and message for New York fans and the Steinbrenner family. The more Aaron Boone chomps on his gum, the less chance they have to win. And let me just say, that man was chomping away on his big league chew.
He was upset.
In the bottom of the ninth.
Another upsetting thing, in my opinion, was that two Yankee fans tried to rip Mookie Glove's arm off of his body.
Mookie's glove off of Betts' arm.
Yeah, they tried to rip his arm off his body.
And now all he can say to them is these 3 fingers that stand for those 3 rings he has now.
Yeah.
The most World Series rings for an active position player. Shout out Mookie, and take that, you frickin' jabronis.
Yeah.
I see them going to Barstool Sports. They're glorifying these guys. Give them their 15 seconds of fame and leave the rest to From the Sidelines.
Well, they're banned. I don't know if it was just for the rest of the World Series maybe even life.
If a Mets fan did that, I wouldn't be okay with it either. That wasn't cool. It was disrespectful.
Trashy. It's one thing to hit the ball when it's like in play, but the guy had already
ripped the thing out of his hand.
The guy had already caught the ball, and it was an out.
Well, look, hopefully on the bright side for Yankees fans, maybe that'll overlook their horrible 5th inning they had last night.
Yeah, dude. Well, also, funny thing to note, Rob Gronkowski said he went to college.
Of course
with the
he
guy,
did.
Right? So they were probably partying. But yeah, Jack Flaherty, first of all, starts the game off atrociously. I thought he pitched an inning and a half before.
He was terrible.
Before they brought Bonda in.
He was terrible.
And it looked like all hope was lost for the Dodgers, and that Anthony Volpe in Game 4 had completely turned the series around with a grand slam. But no! Freddie Freeman. Well, it was a bunch of the Dodgers, but Freddie Freeman was a big part of that with a great base
definitely
hit
wasn't Shohei Ohtani.
Definitely wasn't Shohei. Shohei was missing all playoffs.
Yeah.
He's on a milk carton. Shohei, where are you? But no, he had some good hits here and there, but nothing that screamed MVP.
He didn't even have the Aaron Judge home run.
No, Aaron Judge at least had a home run. Yeah, so that kind of sucked. But, Aaron Judge had a really big error in the game yesterday. Line drive, it looked like a totally routine play.
That was bad.
John Smoltz said it,
really
took
bad.
the eye off the ball. I think, to me, though, the big play that really changed the game, I can't remember who hit it. I want to say it was Freddie. Freddie Freeman hit a ball to Anthony Rizzo, and Garrett Cole stopped running to the bag.
That was Mookie Betts.
It was Mookie?
That was why it was a bang-bang play, because if it was Freddie, they would have gotten him by a mile.
Yeah. No, it was crazy.
Whose fault do you think that was? Cole or Rizzo's or both?
I think it's a little bit of both of them, because Rizzo just stood there, and he should have ran to first, and Garrett Cole stopped running to first and just pointed like, hey, you got it. I mean, dude, it's the World Series.
This is why we practice our PFPs, pitcher fielder practice.
It's the World Series. You got to hustle. Every single play counts. And to me, that was the biggest show of
Zach Jacobs is covering that bag. Jacob Reimer is covering that bag. He's making that toss.
Yeah, exactly.
You know why? Because they're hungry. I think the Yankees lost their hunger.
Yeah,
at the wrong time.
It came in Game 4 and it went away. They went up 5, but maybe they got a little too cocky.
By the end, their turtlenecks were all over their head.
Yeah,
all the way over their head.
Well, anyway, congrats to the Dodgers on their 8th World Series title.
Congrats to the Dodgers. And I would be remiss if I didn't say the Mets had a wonderful season.
Yeah. I'll also just like to say rest in peace to Fernando Valenzuela.
Rest in peace.
This championship is for you, man. We love you.
Yeah, it's for you, Fernando.
All right. Well, that wraps up the MLB season.
Let's go Guardian cap our way over to the NFL.
Yeah.
Did that hurt you? Are you going to be out a couple episodes?
I think you just Shohei'd me. I dislocated my shoulder.
Another reason he wasn't good was because of his... It's true.
That's part of it.
Let's stop talking about Shohei. All God. Right. Well... What do we have? I wanted to play a little game of can we match the best stars in college football with their best fit for an NFL team.
All right.
I was thinking we would start with, I say we start with Ashton Genty. Why not? He's the hot hand. Who do you envision the best place being for Ashton Genty in the NFL?
See, I personally see Ashton Genty going to one of two places.
Okay.
The Cowboys
definitely
need a running back. That's no question about it.
Not Dalvin Cook or Ezekiel Elliott? That's not good enough for you?
No, they need a fresh guy that's hungry. I think he could go there, or I honestly would love to see him on the Patriots. I feel like he'd be a good fit there. Ramondre Stevenson having some fumble issues early in the season.
Like the future of Drake May and Ashton Genty.
It could be a pretty scary duo.
Well, I don't disagree with you. I think he should go to another C, Chicago.
The Bears.
Why do I think he should go to the Bears? That would unleash that
That'd be
offense.
insane.
They have DeAndre Swift. If you put DeAndre Swift, slide him down to RB2 and get him, passes out of the backfield, you're giving Caleb Williams a threat at running back. You've already got his frickin' tight end in Cole Kmet. You've got his 3 wide receivers. Yeah. They would be a gauntlet of an offense, and they're bad enough at this point to still be able to draft him. I think the Chicago Bears should draft Ashton Genty.
I think that's a great pick, too.
Thank you.
Let's move on to
the
next guy.
This guy? Shadur.
Let's
do the Shadur.
Shadur
time.
Man, I mean, I think
this one's easy for me. This one's easy.
With all the talk that's been going on, I think he goes to the Raiders.
Yep,
and
easy.
Unfortunately, I think he needs some help. I think they need to get him a receiver and a running back as well.
Oh, totally.
But besides that, I mean,
they got Brock Bowers.
Who's been electric.
They got Zamir White.
Zamir White's all right.
It's
not
pretty
too
good.
bad. Former Georgia Bulldog. They have two. Are they just building a Georgia offense?
But Shadur, I mean, his watch costs more than my life savings. I think he would fit right into that lavish and money-making city.
Yeah.
You stick a guy with $1 million watch in $1 million city, it's going to do some things.
Hopefully he doesn't get in trouble.
Oh, he will for sure.
All right, let's move on to the next guy.
I think the best quarterback in the draft, Miami's own Cam Ward. I do not have a watch to put up for this guy, but he's a beast. I think he's a beast,
I
man.
can see Cam Ward going to one or two places. 1 to 2. I think there's definitely one place where I think he'll go just because of contract issues with this quarterback. I think the Giants could be a good fit for him, but I think because they have so much money tied into Daniel Jones, they're not going to do that. So I think the Titans go back to the draft and say we need another quarterback.
Again, great pick, and I'm glad I didn't pick the Titans, but that is opening some eyes. I was thinking the New Orleans Saints.
Really?
Derek Carr
You don't buy Spencer Rattler.
I don't buy... First of all, I don't buy Derek Carr.
Well, right.
That man doesn't put the key in the car. It's not going anywhere. That thing's... it's a broken down Toyota Corolla. Rest in peace, my Toyota. And then you've got Rattler. I call him Albino Mahomes minus the ability. He peaked on Netflix in QB1 in high school.
Yeah.
That's when I loved him the most.
When he was
Spencer Rattler, I'm sorry, buddy. You're going to be working at 7-Eleven next year.
Saints.
You know why? Because Cam Ward's going to replace you.
All right, let's do one more guy real quick. Travis Hunter.
Why not?
Honestly, I think the Broncos would be a good fit for him.
Okay.
He stay in Colorado. That'd be great. Maybe he still plays both sides of the ball because Bo Nix needs some weapons.
Yeah.
And, him and Pat Surtain would be a crazy defensive duo.
Like you said, I'm looking for a place where he could play both sides of the ball. The Jacksonville Jaguars.
Oh, definitely.
They're awful. And not only do they need a cornerback, they also need a wide receiver.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah.
All right.
Let's move on, shall we?
Who are your top 3 teams in the league, Daniel? I need to know.
Okay. And I'm just going to say his mouth's going to drop to about here. Why? Because number 3, I'm picking the Green Bay Packers.
I'm trying to keep my mouth closed.
Yeah, just keep it closed, all right?
Look,
I know Jordan Love's led the league in intercept. I know he's got an interception prob tying the league lead with 9. But when you look at the improvement they made to the run game with Josh Jacobs, Matt LaFleur holding it all down as the head of the ship, I gotta go the Green Bay Packers, and that win over the Houston Texans solidified that pick for me.
All right, well, I'm gonna go number 3 for me. I'm gonna say the Buffalo Bills. They just got Amari Cooper. They're still looking great. They were great before the trade, and they have all these weapons. They've got Cooper. Keon Coleman has come alive in the past 2 weeks, and Khalil Shakir still looks pretty great. And then you have James Cook, of course, out of the backfield, and the guy that can do it all, Josh Allen. So. Yeah. And their defense is pretty stout. So I think they're one of the best teams in the NFL. I really don't want to say the Chiefs in this ranking. So I'm not going to say the Chiefs. I'm just going to exclude them from my top 3 ranking.
Okay.
Who's your 2?
Okay. You're excluding the Chiefs. Interesting. Number 2, Detroit Lions. Roar.
I guess great minds think alike because that was my number 2.
I mean, we're both right. You've got Jared Goff, who's... Not only are the Lions leading the league in points per game, Jared Goff has the highest completion rate in the NFL.
Yeah, Jared Goff's been on fire, especially with Amon-Ra St. Brown. You have this absolutely devious backfield.
Called Sonic and Knuckles.
David Montgomery and Jameer Babyback Gibbs, those guys are eating it up. And, if Jamison Williams comes back from suspension, which he should be coming back, I think they'll still be pretty great.
This just has me excited. I think they've built the perfect team
got a good
around
team.
Jared Goff, who does nothing flashy. He just gets the job done.
Pocket passer. Knows what to do.
They're my pick to win the NFC.
All right, who's your number one?
That's who they're going to face in the Super Bowl. Kansas City Chiefs. Come on. Let's get back to earth here. As much as we both don't like the team, they are 7-0 despite their offense not even being inside top 10 in rankings. Their offense doesn't even appear inside the top 10. It is the three-headed snake of Steve Spagnuolo, of Nick Bolton, and of Chris Jones. Those three are single-handedly keeping these Chiefs on the ground going. I have to go with the Chiefs. I have to.
Chiefs are great. Not going to deny that with you. Their offense has been pretty abysmal, especially with quarterback play from Patrick Mahomes. But that defense has kept them in there. Again, I'm going to exclude the Chiefs. My number one has to be the Baltimore Ravens. I know they took a tough loss to the Browns this past week, but I think they bounced back from that. They have the best rushing attack in the NFL with Hill, Derrick Henry, and Lamar Jackson. And if Lamar gets his act together, and I think he is going to get his act together because they just got him some even more help. Not only does he have Rashad Bateman, Zay Flowers, the tight end duo of Likely and Andrews, they just added Deontay Johnson, who's still, I believe, in his prime. Coming from Carolina, this guy's hungry. He wants to come to this team and help them win. Fly, Ravens, flock, here we go.
I couldn't do it. As good as they look on paper, that record of 5-3 left it. That's what left them outside of the top 3 for me.
No, I totally agree with you. I get what you're saying, but I think I just can't deny they're going to be good.
So if you're saying they're a number one team, you think they're going to be in the Super Bowl?
I think they're going to be in the AFC Championship.
Okay, all right.
And hopefully the Super Bowl.
You're giving them their love. You're giving them their flowers. Zay flowers.
All right. The two number one picks of this year's draft faced off each other this past week, and it was quite a matchup to see. Jaden Daniels taking on Caleb Williams, the Chicago Bears, and the Washington Commanders. I want to know who you believe is the better rookie.
Look, it's a good question, but it's an easy question.
I think it's easy.
Give me the Bayou zone. Tempe zone. Where's Arizona State?
Tempe.
Jaden Daniels.
I agree with you 100%.
We got to do it.
Jaden Daniels.
We got to.
His offense.
We got to.
Yeah, it's tough.
You want to know his offense?
Caleb Williams had this team prepped for him right when he came into the NFL.
Yeah.
And they're still last in their division. Although they have an extremely tough division, everyone in that division is playing great. The Commanders are first in their division with quarterback play from Jaden Daniels. He's running his butt off out there. He's not really throwing for a lot of touchdowns, but that doesn't mean he's not throwing for a lot of yards.
He's got 7 touchdowns and 4 rush TDs. That's 11 all-purpose TDs.
I know.
Caleb Williams doesn't have any rush touchdowns.
I know. They're playing great. So, and I'm not taking anything away from Caleb Williams. Caleb Williams has had some flashes of greatness this year, and I think next year he'll be great. But right now, Jaden Daniels looks like the more pro-ready quarterback, and he's showing defenses that he is.
Look, and I'll just end it with a stat. You said pro-ready. Caleb Williams' QBR is 45.8. Jaden Daniels blows that out of the water with a 72.7 QBR. The margin is huge.
There you go. Some unfortunate news from two teams in the AFC South. The first coming from the Houston Texans. Star wide receiver Stephon Diggs tore his ACL. The Texans are going to be struggling for a little bit. Nico Collins is about to get back from the IR, I believe. Stephon Diggs out for the season. He was, playing some really good football.
They had 2 wide receiver ones, essentially.
Yeah, playing great football. They were, I think, combined for the most yards as a duo this year as well. So
that'll really hurt C.J. Stroud, man.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, he still has a lot of other weapons. He still has Tank Dell. He's got Joe Mixon, like you said.
John Mechie.
Caleb Stover, John Mechie, and Dalton Schultz. So,
but this is a blow. It's a blow. It's a blow for the NFL. We love Diggs. I love Diggs.
Diggs is great.
Just keep him away from your girlfriend.
We'll go into another division rival in Jacksonville, Brian Thomas Jr. I know you love Brian Thomas Jr. He's a great player. Also out of the Bayou, LSU. Good. He's going to be out, 2 to 4 weeks with a chest injury, rib injury.
I just came up with another question in this debacle. Brian Thomas, get healthy. But I'm going to compare you to someone who I think you're better than. Malik Neighbors.
Malik Neighbors has a drop issue.
Everybody wants to talk about Malik Neighbors. He was the top 6 pick. But I think there's an LSU wide receiver in the first round of that draft who's even better than him, and that's Brian Thomas Jr., and he's not getting the love. All right.
All right, well, why don't you end us off with the team on your jersey?
Yeah. I'm at an all-time low.
Billie Eilish?
John Bellion.
John Bellion.
Yeah,
Sorry, man.
that's a pull. Let me read a stat for you. The Jets made the wrong kind of history this week. They scored 20-plus points, committed 0 turnovers, and held their opponent to under 250 yards of offense. Sounds like a recipe for success. From 1940 until yesterday, teams were 756-0 when they hit those 3 metrics.
I know what the new record is.
But the Jets just lost to New England today, 25-22, making the record 756-1.
Yeah, your team is just terrible.
Yeah.
I hate to say it. Maybe you guys get Cam Ward next year, actually. Let me go back to that part of the show. Because I don't know if it's the coaching, if it's the quarterback.
It's everything.
It's everything.
Jeff Ulbrich doesn't have a Jeff Pulse. That didn't rhyme. Jeff Pulse, Rick. I mean, I love Jeff Ulbrich. He fires me up, but not at all. He's not built for this. This is not. He's they brought him in as an intern. This is not who he's supposed to be. You know who the real head coach of the New York Jets is right now? Aaron frickin' Rodgers. I'm losing it. I have nothing else to say. I'm at the point where I'm like, would this team be better with a different quarterback? Can we play that game really quickly?
Well, no, dude. I just think this team is just so bad at this point.
You don't think a different quarterback, a younger quarterback,
I mean,
could change this up? He's got the weapons.
If you need a quarterback that's mobile, I think at this point, because Aaron Rodgers has 0 mobility.
Yeah. And
I think a guy could just be slightly more mobile.
He needs to be slightly more mobile. I'm not going to blame Aaron Rodgers for the drops of his wide receivers. I'm going to blame him for his poor quarterback play and his poor leadership abilities, in my opinion. I mean, when we're talking about the boogers you're picking and not the touchdowns you're throwing, I think that's a problem.
All right, well, I'm tired of talking about football teams. Let's go to the NBA.
Oh, you sure you don't want to still talk about the Falcons? I'm kidding. They're not.
They're first in their division.
I know.
We can talk about the team that's first in their division.
I'm all right.
All right. Hey, I just want to hear your MVP, Rookie of the Year, and Defensive Player of the Year picks.
Okay, MVP, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
Okay. I'll go MVP, Luka Doncic.
Okay, Rookie of the Year.
I'm going to say Dalton Connect.
I'm going to say it's so up in the air. I'm going to say Ron Holland out of Detroit.
Defensive Player of the Year?
Kawhi Leonard. Defensive Player of the Year, Lou Dort.
I'm going to say Anthony Davis.
Cool. All right.
Well, that wraps it up for us here on From the Sidelines.
That wraps us up.
I'm Cullen Mac.
I'm Daniel DiMaggio.
Please make sure you guys like, subscribe, and share, and we'll see you guys next week.
See you next week.